and welcome back as Endpoint look to potentially close out this series against sAw. sAw, on the kind of flip side of this, are going to look to try and come back on Vertigo. Now, something to highlight as well is sAw coming 2-0 up, at least historically, on Vertigo against Endpoint. That being said, we have seen some phenomenal games of Vertigo played by Endpoint. So, I really am curious to see just how these two teams kind of collide against one another. I also apologise for the lack of music in the intermission. That is completely my fault. I hope it's all sorted now. Next time we have an intermission, if we need an intermission, at least we'll have music. For the pistol round kick starting though, Endpoint, they go for a kind of smoke, flash, and nade setup, double on both of those. Whereas sAw, it's a bit more util heavy, or a bit more armor heavy, my apologies. That being a kit and flashes in the hands of Muteris. Point now comes back around. Just he'll spot the first on the rotation. Surreal going to fall. There are still players with utility though. As Flame's going to fall on the mid push. Crucial, he's doing it a great job just buying space right now. Plant comes in. There is a lot of utility for this retake. Azaki from behind, he's going to spot Robin. Just able to take him down, and utility. So what avail does it matter if you can't quite use it? And West Maxi aggressive, finding one, finding two through that smoke. It's all on Muteris now to drive back away with the kit, but Mighty Max, he's going on a tear. Arky's going to tap this bomb player, trying to pressure him down. It's got Crucial trying to do damage, tapping it once more. The flash goes out. He's forced to just back away. Crucial will spot him and then just hide. There isn't much time at all. There isn't any time as Arky is out. No time left, he just has to run. He's able to dig down Mighty Max, which is pretty nice, but Crucial, he's actually able to get away, surviving, keeping that KD. And for Endpoint, they're going to lead 1-0 against sAw. As the buy comes in for sAw, it looks like it will be a force buy round the board. We're going to see that same Deagle and Scouts buy we saw fairly commonly on that last map. Question being for Endpoint though, what's the response? Well, it looks like it will be a fast push towards A. Early flashes going on. Offswing comes right. Sonodo looking to catch that first player. That Molly going to tag him down though. Is made early on. For sAw, the rotation, it's actually fairly heavy. It looks like all of their members are just giving up on B. They realise that Endpoint are just going to try and muscle their way onto a site. As the 5-man stack comes through. Question being, can Endpoint hold? Mighty Maxi spots the first player, making damage. Swing comes back around for Crucial though, and both of them respond in kind. More damage being done. These Scouts being alive though, so that tick damage is eventually going to start pressuring down Endpoint, but the smokes are just going to destroy that line of sight. Spikes made either side. The plant comes through, and with no utility, sAw, for them it looks like it will be yet another save. They're forced to back away. And as they retreat towards this B site, Endpoint in fairly convincing style are going to make this their second round. The Scouts of sAw just going to back away. Allowing Endpoint just get a bit more comfortable. And as that bomb goes off, Endpoint with a 2-0 lead. This is going to be their chance to just pull themselves into this, just to eventually go maybe a bit further ahead. And it looks like I've just seen the announcement. Endpoint, they've finally done it. Pretty much since the start of the year, we've seen Pete trying to get for it. But Endpoint, they finally hit the top 30. Congratulations to all the Endpoint staff who are in the chat, and I'm really happy to see that from them. The work has finally paid off. Well, on topic of work, we've got a Vertigo map ahead of us. Endpoint, they're already 2-0 up against what is going to be a fairly poor buy from sAw. Let's see if they can take this A site yet again. early control established. That nade stack not quite landing. I don't know, it was intended to try and take side control. Nothing found just yet, though. Surreal makes his way down. Snodo spotted, and Surreal's going to tear his head off. As a follow-up push comes back around. Mollies, flashes, and nades raining down onto this site. The plant comes back around. The flash goes out. Now the push comes through. Can these players find anything? The Flames finds one. The Scouts trying to find whatever they can. Arky finds one, but I think that's all they're going to find. Muterus, the lone member. His CZ rings true, but that's about it. Mighty Max still get the final say in the matter. And Endpoint now go to lead 3-0. But this could be a common sort of misconception. The same we saw on Train, where sAw, they had a 3-0 lead, but Endpoint, they just responded the second they got their full buyouts. Granted, sAw do not have an AWP to their name. Instead, they go for 5 rifles with utilities to support it. Question being, will Endpoint break them? We'll have to wait and see. A, and once more we're going to see Endpoint just setting up for a standard A take. They've kind of shifted their way up for ramp control. They've drained a lot of utility from sAw. As Portuguese side, they've got 2 smokes and a molly left. That molly being the only bit of aggressive utility they have at all. That's all they have, period. And unfortunately for Robin, that nade, well, that molly won't quite land, but the nade stack, that is perfect. That is a lot of damage done. The spray comes through, that's Panel, and Rome, he is just tagged down so tantalizingly low on HP. That final nade almost finishing the job. So no, he goes to 1 HP. The molly's there to accompany it. It's Arky. That's a well-placed smoke to prevent it. The push comes back around. It's going to be a fairly standard take. Muterus trading right back through the smoke. Crucial. He'll fire Muterus as he tries to aggress. Oh, but not allowing anyone to get anywhere near this Lancer. Flash comes out. Arky needs that charge. He finds one. He finds 2. Looking for a third as it's all down to Crucial. He's got 3 players to find, 2 of which are very low on HP. So he'll make his way forward, ringing out a few shots. He knows Arky's trying to pressure him down. Arky does so. And sAw, unfortunately, that little bit of utility is going to just bless them with a little bit of HP remaining. That being just enough to win the round. sAw, they make it 1 Endpoint. They are still in the lead, and we are going to see a reinvestment come from this now European side. We'll have to see just how well it goes for them. Early on, Rome finding Mighty Max, and unfortunately for Endpoint, that's a very clean early kill. There's no real response to come through from Endpoint. It looks like Rome wants to re-aggress, actually. Flames will punish that, and that is potentially a bit messy from sAw there. For Endpoint again, they are set up outside the safe site, ready to try and sort of push around, try and catch out the odd member, but fortunately for sAw, they've got a 2-2 split, which might not work for them. Set piece goes down. Endpoint now looking to funnel their way onto this A site yet again. The flash going to prevent Robin swinging too wide. Muterus, he's very close to this site. Robin, those numbers being punched in. That bomb secured. And for Endpoint, this is going to be a fairly scary round, all things considered, because they are facing that harsh reality of being reset and giving sAw that momentum. Same can be said for sAw, who's economy hasn't seen better days as well. Surreal is ready for Sonodo, bringing out a few shots. The tap comes down. Surreal finds one. It's back down towards that bomb. There's no one on it though. Zaki finds Suit Flames there to respond. Spam going into that smoke. The second tap comes through. Just a foul. It's all on Muteris. The lone member trying to find Crucial. As contact's made on either side, Muteris, he just has to stick it. He has to pray that he can hold it. Crucial, he'll turn around. He'll win the round. Staking that 1 versus 1 and securing the round for Endpoint. Saw their economy in tatters as they are forced to just potentially buy out the odd pistol here or there, but it, for the best part, will be an eco round the board. Just pistols come out for Saw, and it's a hard pressed round to win. Sonodo hovering around ramp, looking to catch out one of these players. He's out there ready, but that's a nice little shot onto Flames. As the aggression comes back around, Arky shifting forward. Let's catch out these players. Robin, he is out there ready. Arky taken down. Just is also looking to try and push around. Robin, he's going to try and find him. As aggression comes through from Rome. Saw there, really ramping up the aggression now. Taking these kind of angels wherever they can. They are a man down, so I understand why. Muteris still swing wide, finding Surreal. The trade not quite there actually is Crucial. It's messy, but he does find him. Robin is wearing the player from behind, able to take down just Crucial with the other, and Endpoint with the 5th. Unfortunately, we have left game chat on, so we can see that Flames, he was scared a little bit by that P250 kill. Nice to see a full buy come back around now for Saw. Early damage there. Just being tagged on up as for Saw, this buy is their chance to potentially kind of pull forward with it. He's gone aggressive. He shifted all the way around from mid now. And being behind Endpoint, this is just the perfect position to be in. He'll make a bit of noise as he drops, but he's out of kind of an audible range. As Endpoint, this push towards A needs to come fairly quickly, or they are actually going to run out of time. The molly is instantly extinguished by Rome. He was at the ready, and unfortunately that was too quick, because they are going to know he's there. He's going to be forced out of position, as he'll eventually swing wide with the assistance of potentially a flash from Sonodo. Goes down. Rome, he's still trapped. He's still trying to hug this sandbag area as quick as possible. The second light lands at his feet. The second smoke extinguishes it. And with 25 seconds left now, Endpoint, they don't really have a choice. They have to try and commit early on. Rome, Spitzer comes in. He'll find one Muteris there for 2. Flames, he'll catch out that lone member as the rotation comes back around. He's got to try and secure this B site. He's got, I think, just enough time to be able to get towards the site and put in a few numbers, but Arky, he's going to try and cancel it. The turnaround comes through. Flames is spotted. And for Saw, that is a very clean second round established for themselves. Finding Mighty Max, and Endpoint once more go one man down. As Endpoint, their kind of response will be again aggression towards A. We're not really going to see too much of a push come through. Rome from the sandbag position, he's shown that he can be very tenacious. And for Endpoint, this force isn't too good at all. Once that initial smoke goes down, it confirms that roam is there, but they just don't have the utility to try and fight it. The early flash goes out. The early damage is done. Roamy's trying to get away. Only 30 HP left, but Swing Wide will take down. Surreal Crucial is going to find him as his body will plummet to the streets below. Dodo swings wide, finding Surreal. Robin, he's the lone man now. Arky found the first. Robin is just going to try and look to do some damage. That's all he can hope for. That's all he can achieve. With 3 to find and 25 seconds to do so, Meteorist will fall. And for Just and Dodo, it's a matter of being a bit more passive. I say that. Robin now on for Just the last. Just is the lone member to find. He shifts towards the side, spotting the player, but Just is going to find him. That was disgustingly close for a second there. Close enough for me to suddenly get very worried for Endpoint. Or for sAw even. My apologies, Endpoint. They probably loved that, seeing Robin get 3 or 4. And the damage it's gonna show as well. As sAw, they don't have an economy. They don't have any crux to lose around on. Endpoint, an eco does come through, but the more damage is done, the better for them. Arky missing the initial shot. That nade response is gonna just make sure Endpoints kind of stagnate on their push. Surreal. They both strike. Unfortunately for Surreal, it is onto his own team. Filling rest, finding Robin, and that was the N4 of the team. Need to be even more careful considering that sAw, their rotation has come through. They are ready to sort of fight these players, and all things considered, you're just going to have to hope that Endpoint can try and open up one of these sites. Or better still, considering that they are just on pistols, all they can really hope for is to maybe just catch the odd gun. Take the odd gun off of this team. There's 45 seconds left. Endpoint, they've done a good job just being a bit passive about it. Mighty Max, he's wary of Just there. I think he may have heard him, as he'll try and sell a fake towards this B site. Push coming through. That's going to trigger it. sAdodo, he's going to run away. Surreal, though, he almost found him. sAdodo, he went back there, and it looks like he had a moment of hesitation, where he had a moment to go, oh, wait a sec, there's more than one left. He'll turn back around, get to the site, and pick up that eco from Endpoints, but you need to bear in mind, Endpoint, they are still 1 round up. They are going to go onto a bye round, and the only AWP in the game will be in the hands of Arky, who is having a phenomenal game, going 11 to 4. Have to see what more he can get done right now. And to highlight as well, par for T-side of Vertigo is actually about 7 or 8 rounds. It is a very closely cut map. It's about as close as Dust 2 is. I'd even say more so. So for Vertigo, I do expect this to be a very close half, and the scoreline for Endpoint is good, but it could be better. And it looks like it could be their chance to maybe make it that bit better. sAdodo, he's spotted towards Sandbag, spotting up, contact made. Roam is responsive to drop that volley and just wait for players to run through it. Not that they will, but that position on side can be in hot contestation. He's just from behind, he'll take down Surreal. Kind of look, position, just a swift execution for him. So remaining players from Endpoint, they're going to make their way up towards the safe site, looking to catch out the odd member. As Mighty Max, he'll be leading that charge. In-game leader for Endpoint, leading from the front. Flashes go down. The set piece goes out. The push to follow. Let's see how sAw can hold. This one comes wide. sAdodo find the first. Flames responds through the smoke. Flames looking for even more. So continues spamming down, but with only just a little bit of HP left. His nade might find Roam. That it does, but 12 HP, you're not going to be able to do much with that, as he does just sit back, kind of hover around sandbags. Maybe he can find Arky, maybe he can do a bit of damage, but I doubt we'll see much else. Counter-terrorists win. Oh, that was going for Arky for a moment there. That time will tick on down. Of Flames, he is able to take an AK into the next round. So that goes in favour of him. Maybe he'll be able to potentially pull it into next. Maybe he'll be able to just get a little bit done with it. As unfortunately it will be deagles on the remaining players. Now an AK is quite interesting as a force buy weapon. It's the only real gun where we see these kind of fancy just spray downs where the deals can capitalise on it. The acceleration can come through. Will it happen here though? Aggressive on the side. Flames takes a lot of early damage without spotting any players. Starts shifting on forward. Rome to be the player to fight. Flash goes down. He'll aggress. Rome's going to take him down. And for Endpoint, they have no real firepower after that. sAw, he'll find crucial, but it's just going to be shooting ducks. Both Rome and sAw. All down to Robin now. And with only a little bit of armor, it's just going to be bullets finding his body. And it looks like you guys have got some lag issues, so we're going to quickly throw it to the halftime screen just while we're in the timeout here, so please bear with us just a moment. Right, now hopefully that'll be a little bit better. Please let me know if it isn't. Unfortunately, I am on a very old PC. That is a rough one. So, once again, here we are with Endpoint. Looking to potentially come back into this. They do have a full buy ahead of them, but there's lackluster utility. For sAw, they're just repeating what they're doing. They're being a bit passive. They're allowing players to come to them. Flames will get that kickstart of the opening, taking down sAw. And for sAw, there's no real re-aggression to try and get back at them right now. We're going to see the odd bit of utility expended, and Mutarus is getting for a fairly aggressive angle with that nade. He's going to do actually a fair bit of damage. And now he's getting aggressive. Now he wants the straight to come through, but from a one-and-done position, he needs more than just one. Flash goes off, swing comes wide, spot Robin, he re-aggresses onto Crucial, but Mighty Max gets the final say in this. 3 versus 3 now. And for sAw, this will be their chance to actually get that flank on. We're going to see Just making his way through from the side. Flames, he is wary of the push to come through. But Just is going to find him. And Molly going to force him back as he'll actually just run straight through it. Mighty Max on low HP is going to take down Rome, turning back around, going for the aggressive push as he just sells the fake. Surreal needs to be careful from behind. Finding Justin. For a moment, that was extremely scary. Mighty Max is ready for Arky towards this B site. Doing a bit of damage, but it looks like he will just try and back away. This is a really weird area to take a fight. The rotation almost came through, but Surreal with that 2K is going to secure a 6th round for Endpoint, picking up that AWP and bringing Endpoint back into this. Every round is fought tooth and nail. sAw only faltering there with players on 20 HP total from Endpoint. Both teams, they face that harsh reality of a reset. Mutarus going aggressive towards mid there, as Mighty Max will find him. The nade might just finish him off though. So lands just at Mutarus' feet. Robin, the response comes through and we find ourselves in a 4 versus 4. Once again, Endpoint, they set themselves up outside a ramp, and it's kind of weird to see how Endpoint they never really go for B. They are a very A heavy team. As once again early utility goes out for sAw, the set piece goes down, And now they have two players to try and defend against this. They respond by going aggressive towards the side. I really like this. Robin, he's going to try and get on the flank right now. Lono spotted, he'll fall. Crucial finds Rome. And that is a convincing battle that comes through from sAw. It's two players left now, and that makes it kind of scary for sAw, considering that Endpoint, this was their chance to, well, this is sAw's chance to reset them, to kind of take their economy out of this, but with this round, not only are they winning it convincingly, meaning 4 players won't have to reinvest, but we're doing so with a bomb plant. As Just and Arky now, the lone members from sAw are going to be backing away towards this B site, just looking to hold on to what they can and just lay in wait. Goes off Endpoint. We enter the penultimate round of the first half with Endpoint. They lead 7-6, and for sAw, I think they might start feeling the pressure here. It's going to start mounting up for them, considering Endpoint, they're already a map ahead. Everything is going really, really well for them, and we need a response to come through from sAw. They need to come up with just something, to produce something that beats this team. Unfortunately, the only real response so far has been just getting a kind of angel victory and then just falling back. Flames with 50 HP is just going to try and hold. Max will make his way forward, catching out Rome on the aggression. Now sAw, he has to fall back early on, or he is at risk of being caught out. He does find the first, he desperately tries to get away. As an 8 stack lands on top of these players, Crucial going to fall to 50 HP. And what needs to kind of scare sAw right now is that Endpoint, not only do they have this sort of weaponry lead, but they've only got position on 1. Muterus, he's trapped full set aside, trying to do damage as best he can, and damage he does. But as the nades land around them, there's no real response. sAw, he'll fall to the nade, he tries to fight as he dies. Arky now, the orb of sAw, the only true gun going into this, starts ringing, going out with rhythmic booming. He tries to wallbang center side, nothing found. Robin, he'll find Muterus jumping up on those steel rods. And for Just and Arky, it's a 2 versus 3, trying to make their way forward to this A site, just trying to find something here. So Arky finds Robin. For Endpoint, that is going to be kind of sort of telling them to stop trying to hunt them down, and understandably so, Endpoint, they sit their way back towards the A sites. And with this Endpoint, not only do they secure a victory in the half, they also put sAw's money really down the toilet. Pause is going to come through for them while they try and discuss, what can you do? Like, what works? What do sAw do to try and beat Endpoint right now? A team that is having a formidable start. They're doing very, very well, and much better compared to how we saw when they played against each other not 5, maybe 10 days ago in that DreamHack Open qualifier, where I believe it went 16-6 to sAw. So this is a new Endpoint. They have clearly done their homework, and they have clearly found a way to sort of fight against sAw that's working. And to be on the T side and to win the half, it is a very successful half for them. Looking to make it even more so. The sAw's buy, it's reduced to just fam asses. It's a deagle here or there. Muterus going aggressive once again, finding Mighty Max actually. And maybe your Endpoint. Maybe these deagles still have the power to bite. Flames, he's wary of Muterus. He's hugging the top with this ladder, waiting for the push to come through. And sAw, they don't want to commit to it. Robin, he's going to be there to support him. As a molly will force Arky down. No, it won't actually. I think it may have hit a ceiling like there. That is unfortunate for Robin. Not quite hitting the lineup. As the molly goes down, the push comes through. And Surreal, he's wary of Muterus being there. He just wants to force him out of position. The mollies are utterly perfect. The carpet bomb onto Muterus there will find him. The orb of Arky now, he is trying to hold. He's trying to hide. as they are wary of his position in mid. No one chooses to challenge him though. Instead, it falls down to these players of Endpoint to set up outside A. Crucially scoped in, he's ready for the peek. So no, he'll shoulder peek it before backing away. As Flames will do. Arky's going to find Surreal. And now Endpoint starting to collapse a little bit. Robin, he's holding for Rome, not quite spotting him early on, not quite shifting into him as they bump into each other in the smoke. And Rome will find the first. It's all on Crucial, and with 3 HP, it's a nice little clean up. Saw they make it 7, but Endpoint are the ones to lead at the end of the half, 8-7. Potentially going to push on forward to maybe to even take the map. A kind of massive turn of events, considering this is one of saw's best maps right now. So it's going to be a fairly standard buy of a couple of mollies, bit of smoke, bit of utility. Endpoint, again, they've shown they favour this kind of 2 smoke, 2 flash, 2 nade setup. I think we've seen it 3 or 4 pistol rounds now. As they just hold towards mid. They know that Saw's going to potentially do this sort of mid to be splits. Surreal, he'll be the first player to spot it though. So no, he's lined up with this utility. As the nades go down, the set piece goes on out. The flashes to follow. And now the bodies to push on to the site. As Endpoint, they play retake. Robin aggresses in mid, spotting Muterus. Muterus wins the aim duel though. As Flames, he's able to tag him down. 4 versus 4. That nade's pretty nice from Mighty Max. It forces players out of position, but they are making their way forward towards this site. They are all over Saw right now. The retake is quick and it's ruthless. As the bomb is capped, Arky, he'll find Mighty Max in the smoke. More tapping to go through. Arky finds Surreal, looking for more damage. As these USBs are just swarmed. Flames finds one. It's all on Crucial. He'll continue trying to do damage, but Rome puts an end to that. It is a messy, messy pistol round, but Saw, they come out on top. Tying it up 8-8 against Endpoints. And for this European side, I expect it will just be Deagles, Scouts, a little bit of nades to bring out this second half. So once again, it is just an early default. They're trying to figure out what the buy is from Endpoint. The scout coming out from Crucial should give it away, as their response will be towards him. Mighty Max finding Muterus, trying to spam him down, but Muterus, he'll just survive with 2 HP. The nade's chasing him as he runs away. Rome and Surreal, they exchange blows on the other side of the map. It's a B hits, and it's a lovely shot from Rome to kickstart this site attack. As with Robin and Crucial, they find themselves alone. Kind of a repeat of what we saw from Saw, where Endpoint, they're just going to back away towards this A site. Robin, he's going to try and catch out Muterus right now. He presses, but Muterus with just 2 HP is still going to win the aim duel. Crucial now alone for Endpoint, with 4 players to find, and only a little bit of time to do so. And for the save, I think that time might be a blessing rather than a curse. Saw now having taken the lead 9-8 for Endpoint. We are going to see another buy come on through. It is just this kind of nade setup, looking to potentially airstrike somewhere. Crucial is wary of a push. He's trying to see where it comes from. Spotting just early on. No kill to be found. The nades, they've not quite been expended by Endpoint either. As sAw, they line themselves up for early map control rather than a standard take. Kills come forward. For sAw, it's going to be a standard take towards A. How will the airstrike of Endpoint hold out? We'll have to see. It looks like they are just going to allow the plant to come through, then try and cancel it with these nades. As they almost invite sAw onto the site, playing retake, and as the set piece goes on out. Cap comes down. Here come the nades. As they are not quite expended actually for Endpoint. I think they didn't hear, as they now choose to maybe expend those nades elsewhere. Very surprising, actually. As these USBs, they do look for a bit of damage. Pretty sure they'll take down Just, but maybe the nades here are going to be used to try and catch players who are saving. As the bomb starts ticking on down, sAw players, they choose to back away. He's trying to do damage, but Mighty Max is going to find him. That's what the nades before. It was to cancel. Well, I say it was to cancel these saving players, but the nades, they just don't land. That was a kind of poor choice of where to use the nades. And unfortunately for Endpoint, sAw are going to survive with 3 players left. The full buy, though. This is where it matters. As the full buy comes through for Endpoint. We're going to see M4s around the board. A AWP in the hands are crucial, and an AK to support it. sAw now again set up outside B, looking for early damage, but this time they're being a bit more disciplined. They know that Endpoint have the power to bite, as they sit back and they lay in wait. Now they're going to see this presence from sAw and be ready on the rotation. Flash goes out, the push comes through, but it's a bit of a fake actually. 35 seconds left and it has pulled Mighty Max away from mid. He's just shifting back towards it. He doesn't want to commit just yet, and it is going to all come down to timing in just a moment. The main man to watch out for will be Surreal. He needs to go huge right now. 20 seconds left. The push coming through. Future sneaking that charge. Surreal, he does damage. No kill found. And Future cancels out Surreal. Mighty Max is there to trade. He's in the right place. Could cancel the plant right now. Almost doing so for Futurist. He's going to survive. Robin, the follow-up nade, will find him though. Sonoda and Flames responding in turn. 2 versus 2 between Crucial and Flames. Both Roman and Arky going to be sat at the ready towards pits, waiting for these players to come on through. First smoke goes down. Flames spotted. Arky's going to find him. It's all on Crucial to aggress. Scope in, spotted by Rome, and unfortunately Crucial, he'll miss his shots. He'll also miss another one onto Arky. Crucial, they'll try and save, but Arky is going to shut him down. sAw, they're going to make it 11. And for Endpoint, that was a round that was lost on essentially Angels there. See the off nades come out from Endpoint, looking to do damage, but sAw are going to be at the ready. As the nades are pretty much suspended by Endpoint, they look to try and find a sAw player, but sAw, they know it's coming. They're being very, very passive, even. They're just hovering around ramp. They don't want to commit early on. They know Endpoint's going to be on a poor buy. Being Deagles. And for Endpoint, this buy worked for them. We saw them win a Deagle round on Train, but that was due to utter heroics. Something that might be a bit hard to repeat. Bloody goes down. Robin does damage early on. Flames, he'll pick up from Boost, finds Sododo. Now Roman aggressive swinging by, lining up the kills. But Crucial's going to shut him down. A follow-up push coming back around. Lester able to find Flames. It's all on Crucial. Trying to hold. The rotation coming through from Surreal, but it's late, unfortunately. As 3 versus 2, more damage can be done, but it just won't come through for now. As more shots ring out from both Crucial and Surreal. They're desperately trying to find sAw right now. And as Muterus backs on away, the possibility, the likelihood of winning this retake goes from unlikely to pretty much nothing at this point. Endpoint, they just sit back. They have Deagles. They're buying next round anyway, so they did go for a bit of damage, and granted they found some. Sododo falling is definitely advantageous to them, but that C-side is just so easy to reinvest. The only time you can really keep a leash on economy is on that CT side, or that T-side attacking CT side. And for Endpoints, going on to another buy, but if they lose this next buy, it could potentially be one of their last. sAw, they lead 12-8 against Endpoint. Let's see what their response is. For sAw, it's going to be an early push towards the B site. A very early push, actually. It's just a standard take. No funny business to be found here. But Surreal, he'll find Arky to kick things off. There's 4 players to be found, though, as all 4 of them commit to this push. Muterus, he's a bit late as he does make his way in through round. Surreal aggressive, he'll find 1, he'll make it 2. Robin, he'll find Justin. Muterus alone in mid. It's caught off guard. This is just what Endpoint were wanting. A 9th round. It's clean. It gives them that money injection they oh so desperately desired and so much needed. As for sAw, they can reinvest without really shrugging too much. It's AK's pretty much around the board at this point. Utility to support it. For Endpoint though, that round victory was at the hands of Surreal. He failed a couple rounds ago, but this time he did more than just succeed. Spotting Sododo early on. Trying to do the odd bit of damage, but nothing found as Muterus will swing wide. Trying to catch out Robin, and that's just what Sododo needed. For Endpoints, this could be a very, very difficult round. Crucially, he's extinguished that smoke, and he is trapped on those sandbags. Well and truly. Mighty Max, he tries to aggress as best he can to help the AWPer of Endpoint, but he can't leave the side unattended. Sododo is ready for that push, and for sAw, it's a 5 versus 4, and with one of the members of Endpoint's location pretty much gospel at this point, it's well known, they're ready to shut it down. We'll see how well it works out for them. Sododo, he'll lead that charge towards the side. Early nades and flashes go down. Crucial finds one. Sododo there to trade Mighty Max onto one more. And Crucial, he's just staying alive is enough, but the collapse falls, and it's all on Flames. Trying to find the brink. He's had some great clutches so far, but Rome's going to put an end to that. sAw, they lead 13-9. Endpoint, they can reinvest. As can sAw. Now both teams, this is that sort of economy breaking round where sAw, if they lose this, they can maybe buy the odd, Muterus and Rome are going to be hard pressed. Endpoint, if they lose this, they're straight onto an eco. I really, really want to see Endpoint win this simply so it becomes closer. So everyone loves some close CS, but sAw, this might be a very one-sided affair as they have had a dominant T side so far. started finding sAwReal, and for Endpoint, that is another man disadvantage going against them. It's not looking good for them. They do have players on this B site, but sAw, they realize with the man advantage, Endpoint, they're just going to be constantly second-guessing everything. And sAw, they go quiet. They push forward towards this A site. Crucial, he needs to be... Well, this is a crucial round. He finds Just, turns back around, and he maintains the aggression. Re-aggressing, shifting forward. Rome, he's very close. He's ready to try and cancel this out, and he will find Crucial. Crucial, he's overstayed his welcome, and Endpoints have got a site to try and defend. Fortunately, with Robin being the only player to do so, 25 seconds left on this clock. The plant will come down, and Robin, he's not really got any say on how the dynamics of this round will work. Flames, he's still on the B site. As sAw, they commit to this A site. Plant comes in, push comes through. sAwReal, he's going to tear Robin's head off. And it's all down to Flames. 1 versus 4, and all he can look to do is save. sAw, this has been a phenomenal T side. Actually, if we take a look at the scoreboard here, you know, Endpoint, they've only had 1 round on this CT side. Take a look at the utility damage as well. Look at that for Endpoint. It's not that their setups aren't working, it's just they're losing the aim duels, and sAw, this is a great start for them. sAwReal, look at that, he even tosses the AWP out the map. He doesn't want to risk getting it. Flames, to his credit, is doing damage, but he isn't looking to do damage, he's looking to survive. sAwReal, he'll try and shut him down, as well as Rome looking to accompany that push. So he comes around, Flames, he'll fall, and Endpoints have no real gun and utility going into round 24 to try and keep sAw off of map points. Point on this eco. It's going to be deagles here and there. Bit of armor to accompany it, but mainly just pistols. It's going to be deagles around the board as they try to just do anything that could beat this side. Once again, Endpoint just lining themselves up for this push. Defend against this push, as they have a fairly good advantage, all things considered, in terms of position, but that's only really on the east side, and so that's not their target. Their point of contact will be this A site. They're ready, they are hungry. Try and pressure them down. Roman spots these other players. A nade, that is a very nice nade, doing a fair chunk of damage to these players. Especially as can he find the deagle shots. Contact made, he knows they're pushing him. It's very early side control coming through. The accompaniment are Crucial to try and find one another. He finds one, he tries to find another, but Crucial and Robin, they respond in kind. 3 versus 3 for this A site. Push coming back around. Flames, with this flash, is going to look to try and buy some space. As Roman's caught off guard. Arky, he finds the first. He knows Crucial and sAwReal are going to be there soon. 10 seconds left. sAwReal's going to try and cancel his mark. Swinging wide, spamming through the smoke, not quite being able to. As for Endpoint, these deagles, they're just so close every time. But as the afterplant scenario kind of kicks in, it's all down to sAwReal. Remember, as Arky takes him down, sAw, they're going to lead 15-9. Endpoint now on what could potentially be their final bomb plant, or their final buy. They need to try their absolute best here to stay in the map. sAw, looking like they might take this to map 3. It's early nade damage as well. sAwReal boosted up, looking for Mighty Max earlier. Early kill in favour of sAw. And that's going to kickstart this push. Robin is able to just drop a molly to maybe slow it down. as Crucially holds for the aggression. Haki will fall, and now it goes back to a 4 versus 4. And this is the first time in a while that we see a kind of setup from Endpoint where they're not at a man disadvantage. Muturis, flank from mid comes through though. Surreal will fall. Crucially is forced to turn back around. And Muturis, he just strikes again. Another kill for him. Endpoint 2 versus 4. Coming back around from this A site on the retake. Flames, he finds Muturis. The bomb is barreling towards this B site for sAw. Flames needs to go huge right now. Spotting the bomb, that is just what he needed. sAw looking for a player as well. Robin, he's wary of just towards this A site as he'll fall. sAw now the lone member at Endpoint. They may have just pulled this back. 25 seconds left. The plant comes through from sAw. Flash comes out. Swing comes wide. sAw caught out. And Flames. He'll bring Endpoint to a 10th round. A lovely little round from him. He'll save the AWP and go straight to Crucial. And sAw, they're going to be able to buy up, but all of a sudden, their economy is not looking too fresh. There's a Tech 9 on sAw. There's a Mac 10 on Just. There's only AKs to accompany it. For Endpoint, this is actually a fairly good position to be in. Crucial, they've started fighting. Just Robin is there to trade. And for sAw, these two kind of players who were... These two players who were fairly... badly weaponed for sAw are going to be stuck towards side. It's going to give the AKs a chance to kind of sell the fake as they set up outside A. Ramp aggression coming through. Endpoint, they find a 3-man advantage. Crucial finds the first. Rome and Muturis now the lone members, and as a nade lands around them, it's all down to Rome and Muturis. And now just Rome. Muturis will fall to Mighty Max's volley, and Mighty Max, he mounts the aggression, taking down the other AK. And Endpoint, they make it their 11th. And as we said for sAw, as they made a comeback at the end of the first map, is it a comeback or is it just some dying breaths from Endpoint? We'll have to see. As for sAw, there's going to be a full eco. Endpoint's chance to potentially farm some money. Not that it matters, because if they lose a round, they're dead anyway. Contact made towards mid and ramp. Flashes going through. The fast push to come around. And Muturis in mid. He's going to try and catch out Flames. Unfortunately, he's unable to. The follow-up push from sAw will be towards this B site, but they've pulled the rotation completely away from this B site. sAw leading the charge. Surreal's going to be the man to find. Actually, he's got very aggressive. Surreal's able to find him. He'll find a second as well. Looking for even more. It's all on Rome. And he gets deleted. Is Ragdoll falling, plummeting to the depths below. As Endpoint make a very clean 12th round, and now the economy is starting to build for them. For sAw, it will be just AKs and Galils around the board. They can't quite afford an AWP, but they do have utility to back it up. A spam spot I didn't know existed actually towards A between Robin and Muturis. They're only digging each other down. It's kind of negligible amounts of damage, but still quite interesting to see. As sAw, they push up ramp early on. Crucially, he's going to try and hold for them, but sAw's going to find them. Now Robin needs to go huge. He needs to find some kills early on. He'll spot Rome, he'll spot some other players, but he is just going to back away. He'll drop that smoke at his feet and almost invite sAw to try and run through it. As just taking a bit of damage through that through to spam. Max also taking early damage, just then finding Robin. And this could be the collapse for Endpoint. While he's forcing Rome forward, just leading that charge. Max, he will fall, and Just is going on a rampage. A 2k for him. It's down to Flames and Surreal. Muturis finds the first. Surreal now the lone man. 1 versus 5 for Endpoint. So spam through that smoke as best he can. Passing the first, but there's so many to find. And he'll be taken down. sAw, they're going to secure map 2 as we go to map 3, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.